Detroit Become Human is one of the best games I played this year, and that's saying a whole lot considering that this year hasn't even ended yet and it's in November. Well, at least at the time I'm recording this. So, how this all works is that I'm going to be making this a little review about my playthrough and the choices I've made and the ending I got. And let's just start off with the characters. The characters are amazing. They are so beautiful. They are wonderfully made and created. They all have such a beautiful story and such a horrible, change in their life that made them either become a deviant or make them question whether they are a deviant. And I just wanted to say that this is one of the best games to ever play with your heartstrings. And I thought the ending of Spider-Man was bad. This takes the cake completely. So as you guys know, I love Detroit, and as most only like small people know, I recently bought Detroit with my hard-earned money from $30,000. I don't have enough money for that. So, anyways, let's get on to Kara. Kara is one of the most saddest games one of the most saddest characters I have ever ever had to play as. It's the most saddest thing in the world. And I want to say some spoilers, and I'm going to be having a little timestamps to where the spoilers are not present, so that way I am able to keep your little, entertainment for your use, I guess. I don't know. But basically, all I'm trying to say is if you haven't beaten the game and you would like to, then there's some spoilers going on ahead. So check the time box below, and you'll see where the spoiler starts and where it ends. And here we go. Spoiler number 1. When you find out that, Alice is an android, I really did not understand why they would do this. This whole entire thing didn't really make sense. As you can see, I chose the clip here for when Kara serves out spaghetti. But the problem is that I really don't see how long this is gonna take for him to, at least mention once that she is an android. And even if she was a deviant, this would make no sense how, the father Todd would abuse her. It doesn't really make sense to me because it just seems so weird. But like in general, why would anyone try to abuse their own daughter? But it's just so confusing and difficult because if she doesn't eat, why bother telling Kara to go serve Alice? And it's just something I just don't get, and I really don't understand. Why wouldn't you tell her? I mean, like, I guess, she's supposed to so-called apparently know, but they did say that, her memory was completely wiped, so everything that she's known on from this point is completely gone. Okay, spoiler done with. Okay, so let's get on to this other thing about when Kara and how she's about, to change into a deviant. I really thought that this little thing about this whole, like, the don't move thing and the whole deviancy really works, and it works so good because you can tell the struggle that they are when they try to break their own code and what they're programmed to, so-called, or not so-called, but, like, actually officially do, and it's one of the best things I have seen so far, and Kara and Alice are just so beautiful together, and I really think that they're so good together. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say for Kara. On to Marcus. Now, Marcus is one of the most coolest characters so far, besides Connor. The little father and son, bondage that he and his owner has are one of the most, the best things about this game. And you just feel so sad when you know that, the person you love has a lot of struggles. You just want to do all you can just to take care of them as if they were as if they were your own father. And when I played this game, I sincerely thought that he was really awesome. He's a really cool guy, and he deserves everything that that he does, or at least every single reward and every dollar that he's gotten. And I can really tell that Marcus, unlike all the other, at least all the other deviants, was one who actually loved his owner, who actually took care of his owner, and not just like that, but like actually wanted to be with his owner. And when Leo came in, it all seemed so weird to like have the to have like this kind of son here. It's just I don't get what's I don't know what backstory like they had between each other, but I don't know why he wants to be like this. But it really is such a a really confusing thing whether to have an android be better than your own son because, well, the android does feel like his son, and that's something that's so powerful and so beautiful about it. And the little thing, the little, the little like demands that he's been getting, it doesn't move, does not, this is not fair, all of that just it fits so well because it just, it just shows you how much that, Marcus has become more of a human than he is an android. Mainly because, like, I feel like, those little prompts really show how far he is to become a deviant to the point where he listens to everything he is instructed because he loves it. But he's still partially a human. And that's where the little prompts come in, and I really think that, that is the most coolest things ever. On to Connor. Now, Connor and Hank have the most best father and son friendship they have. Honestly, in my gameplay, I had them, as friends, and then I had a few things that would upset Hank. But overall, I had Connor in my gameplay seem a lot more like he's, he knows he's an android, and he knows full well that he is designed to hunt down deviants. But then, as time and time goes on, the little things that deviants do really make him stop and think, do I really want to bring them down? Do I really want this to happen to them? And that right there just seems something, seems like, if you really could change a story on how you want the character to be as, I really think you've done it right. And Detroit Become Human does it perfectly, especially with all the, the choice that you can make, whether you can lie or tell the truth to the deviant. And sincerely, I feel so happy that this is an actual choice to become a deviant. And little spoiler alert, check the timestamp in 3, 2, 1. Well, the thing is that if you do die as Connor, you are able to become a replacement. And there are certain times where if you die, you can always come back, and you can always come back a different person but with the same memory. And since my gameplay didn't have that, where I would always keep Connor and everyone else alive, and I did all I can to make sure they were alive. Unfortunately, Julius did die. I think that's his name. When you realize that, when you realize that he has different replacements. To me, in my gameplay, I never even knew that he had a replacement. I thought he was the only one. It turns out he isn't the only one, and there are multiple androids just like him, ready to take his place whenever he needs to. And when at the end, when the other Connor leaves Hank to die, or like not leaves Hank to die, but like pulls him up with gunpoints, that's really powerful. Okay, end of the little spoiler. This part right here, I want to mention a part of this game that makes you think. So in this option, I was able to choose steal or don't steal. Steal clothes from this guy who's fallen asleep behind us, and go into the hotel to spend the night with Alice as Kara. However, though, I did eventually got confused and actually said, no, I'm not going to go over and steal the clothes. And I looked around and I wanted to see if, there's any possible way I'm able to steal or don't steal. As you can see, I did take a second look, and it took me a really long time to decide whether or not I wanted to actually choose to steal or don't steal, because honestly, it's heartbreaking to know that, a child is a part of this, and the choice that you make will change this child forever, which I did not know, spoiler alert, was as you know what. So I actually did eventually choose to steal because there was nothing else I can do, and I was looking around in other dishwashers to see if I was able to find any other clothes that were just left behind. Unfortunately, there wasn't any. And it's just really powerful to choose whether you want to do certain crimes or do certain things just to protect Alice, even though it sounds so ridiculous and horrible, and it's something that makes you regret. Like, for example, in this part in the convenience store where you go over and steal stuff. However, this game will punish you for the mistakes. As you can see that I didn't know that he was looking, and I ended up having to put it back. I did not know that I was going to get kicked out of the store if I did do that. Which, I could have used the gun, but I didn't want to. I wanted to be the best person I could be. I wanted to be the good guy. And I can't do that because the game punishes you. And you can really feel the injustice these androids are enduring, which made me really think, are androids really just machines? Because even if I had identity crisis myself while playing the game, you know that your game does it right. And your game, if you want to make a story feel believable, you want to feel the same thing that they're feeling. And that's really powerful. And I really, really appreciate how this game focuses. Not only does it work well, it works beautifully. And not only, the best thing about this game is to have Chloe. If you progress through the game, if your characters become more of a deviant, she will stop and, she will look like she's nervous. In the beginning of the game, she looks like she's completely calm and happy. She's just a happy little android, but she stops and thinks, am I an android or am I deviant? And that's something that's really powerful. To know that not only are your surroundings deciding what to be androids or deviants, but you're deciding yourself, if I was an android, would I become a deviant? All these things that I have to go through. And the immediate sign that someone is becoming a deviant is when they realize that they're being treated so poorly. And even I felt bad for machines. Things that do not exist, things that are not real. But I felt their pain. The first time in forever they actually feel pain, and I already know what it feels like to be going through those things because I am human. But there are times where I stop and think, do I really want these guys to stay androids or do I want them to be human? So that's why I let Connor become a deviant, and I let Jericho go over and thrive in a peaceful protest.